Well, my wife and I got married, like many couples. We vowed for better or worse. We had a 2-year-old boy, and we were waiting for our second child to be born, and my daughter was born on the night of April 28th. But unfortunately, it went all downhill from there. After a very quick delivery, my wife had some serious complications. We could tell that something was wrong because the nurses were racing in and out of the room. The doctors started whispering to each other. It was serious. She was bleeding out. They were racing her out of the room, and I just begged them, can you please stop? I want to say goodbye to my wife. I walked over, I reached for her hand, I gave her a kiss, and I told her I loved her. She knew I was really nervous, and she tried to calm me down, and she told me the words that I'll never forget. I'll be back soon. I love you. It was probably the worst night of my life. Thoughts racing through my mind. How am I going to take care of these 2 kids alone, being a single father? What am I going to tell her parents? I just didn't know what to do. There was no news that was coming. Finally, the doctor walked in. I just cried and collapsed when I heard the news. My wife had lost over half her blood. But thankfully, she made it. She survived. He told me it was going to be a pretty lengthy recovery, but after several days, we went home. You know, after everything we had been through, I was just so fortunate to have my family together. But about 2 months later, my wife actually started having more stomach pains. And the doctors told us now she had a softball-sized tumor on her right ovary. The good news was it was benign. The bad news was that it was a pretty major surgery, and now he said that there was going to be another lengthy recovery. Well, there's a little bit of a backstory to all this. I was actually preparing for one of the biggest moments of my young poker career. Earlier that year, I had qualified for the World Series of Poker. Many of you might have seen this on TV. It happens every year. It's a $10,000 buy-in event, and it's the dream of every amateur poker player to play in this event, and it certainly was mine. So how could I leave my wife, after everything she went through, to go play in a poker tournament? She said go. She had watched me work so hard for the last year and a half, and she said, go live your dream. So I flew my sister-in-law in to take care of my wife and the 2 kids, and off I went. Flew off to Las Vegas to play in a poker tournament. I was a little guilty, but I was so excited. I was about to play in the World Series of Poker main event. And I knew if I played well, maybe strung a few days together, I could have a special run. And that's exactly what happened. After day 1, there were 5,619 people who played in this event, and I was one of the chip leaders. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't wait to go tell my wife and give her all the little details, like walking into that room, this football field-sized room just filled with poker tables from wall to wall, thousands of people just chattering about poker. The symphony of the cards and the chips, it really brought me back to my childhood. In all honesty, it made me feel home. But in all honesty, my wife doesn't know anything about poker. It really went in one ear and out the other. She could have cared less. But she knew I was nervous and she wanted to calm me down, so she told me, we can't wait till you get back home. I love you. We had this call day after day after day, and that's a good thing because if you have that call, that means you're still in the event. And I have a chance to win it. On day 5, though, the call changed a little bit. My wife had this excitement in her voice, and I didn't know why. See, our family, friends, work colleagues, the press were all calling her to tell her that her husband, me, was still in this event. 50 people now were only left in this event, and I was one of them. She couldn't believe it. She was so excited that I was living my dream, and she was thrilled that I was having the time of my life. She wished me good luck, and I went back to the poker table. Unfortunately, my dream ended the next day. I went out in 13th place, pushed my chips into the middle, and my opponent called. When we flipped over our cards, I was ahead. He only had 5 cards to beat me. When the last card was about to be turned, I was about a 90% favorite to win. But when the 6 of diamonds rolled off onto that green felt, my knees crumbled. I just fell to the floor. I couldn't believe it. Flying home from Las Vegas back to Boston during the 5-hour flight, I just kept living that moment over and over again, thinking about every single hand. Could I have done anything different? I was just devastated. Got off the plane, went to baggage claim, and there they were. My boy ran into my arms and gave me a big hug and welcomed me home. My daughter was lying there, and I gave her a little peck on the cheek. And then my wife. She gave me a big hug, big kiss. All the disappointment went away when she said, "We're so glad you're back home. I love you." Thank you very much.
Bernard Lee.